All right, today is day 146. Yes. And today we're going to be looking at a single family home in the Kansas City area. Again, if you haven't seen our latest podcast episode, go to youtube.com/ at Kent_HE. Recently brought on Tyler, who's a contractor in the Kansas City market. So for those of you that might be a little bit afraid to invest out of state, sometimes it just comes down to who do you have on your team and your confidence in their ability to execute. So just because Tyler has done 400 rehabs does not mean I'm vouching for him. I have not personally used him for any rehabs, but I certainly intend to and just try it out for on behalf of the community. So today we're looking at a property in Kansas City in the Overland Park area in Johnson County. It's a little bit south. And let's see, this is a for sale by owner, decent school. So I wanted to take a quick look at this property to see what would make this a deal. So let's see where we are. We're right next to some grocery stores. This is for sale by owner. They even gave us a website to look at interior videos, take a quick look at the condition of the property. Looks okay. Flooring pictures, kitchen looks fine. Maybe, oh, interesting. Home looks pretty solid, actually. No, maybe I'll just replace the carpet with some LVP, but I'm not going to do too much. Let's see if the 3 bed, 1.5 bath. Let's see if we can look at if there's room for an additional bedroom. So let's see. This is the living room, the kitchen. Let's see. That's the front. How would I add an extra bedroom in here? That's the kitchen. That's the kitchen, bathroom. Let's see. Are we going upstairs anywhere? Let's see if I can see it going upstairs. So when I go upstairs, do I see additional opportunity for additional bedroom? It's one bedroom. It's a bathroom. Another bedroom. I'm not seeing an opportunity to add additional bedroom here unless I morph a. Oh, I will have to convert the garage. That's probably what I have to do in order to get an additional. Yeah, in order for me to turn it into a 4 bedroom, I would probably have to convert this garage into a bed because I didn't really see other opportunities there. So convert that, and then all of a sudden you have just street parking. Okay. That's probably what I'll think about because when I looked at the Johnson County payment standards, you can see that there's a small jump from 3 bedroom to 4 bedrooms, roughly around 2017. So 300, 40, $50. So that's what's on top of my mind. So when I go to affordablehousing.com, now that I got those payment standards, I want to see what my market rents look like for this property. Let me close that out so it's not in my way. Let's plug in the address in the owner section in the market rent estimator. You plug in the address, and I'm going to start writing down the rents for a 3 bedroom and also for a 4 bedroom at the same time. So, as is a 3 bedroom, the rent's going to be 1904. Wow, that's pretty healthy. 1662 for the zip, 1856 for the city, and 1866 for the county. Now, if I go to a 4 bedroom, what would that allow me to get? 2479. That's great. That's a much healthier rent in a decent to low crime area. 2488 and 2366. Okay. I like those numbers. So I have pretty good confidence that on a 3 bedroom, I can get the $1,900 for rent. And then for my 4 bedroom, I'm probably going to be able to get to 2230, assuming I don't have to include any utilities in there. So let's go ahead and see if this deal will work. So on this property, it is 1562 square feet. I think I just have to replace carpeting in about 3 rooms. So that's, I'll just call it 10 by 15 each room. So that's 450 square feet. So 274,900, 274,900. And I'm going to put in the rents for as it is as a, I'm going to assume I'm going to get a 4 bedroom. So I'm going to put in 2317. I'm going to put in some utilities in here. Utilities, let's call it 200 bucks a month at the minimum. I might call it 250 just to be a little bit more conservative. All right. And then I'm going to have that including utilities. And I'm going to put in my renovations here. I'm going to assume I need to repaint the place. Even though it looks pretty good, just in case there is some misleading photos in there. I'll put in some money for 1562, 1562, and then equals 150 times 3 to turn those carpet areas into LVP, 1,500 bucks for the roof, 500 bucks to keep the landscaping clean. No bathroom remodels on this house. Probably change up to 2 toilets for the high pressure flush toilets. And that's pretty much all the rehab I'm going to do on this property because I'm assuming the water heater still works and there's no termite issues on this one. $26,000. Okay, that's not bad at all. Let me just update the cell to make sure I'm not overestimating expenses here. Now at 2317, I'm going to assume that I'm going to buy this property at 25% down and at 8% interest rate. And the conventional loan is going to equal to the asking price subtracting the down payment to get me to my finance amount of 206 and assuming 8% interest rate. And the date for this loan is probably going to be 2024. Whoops, I can do a more recent date. So let's do February. Okay. There's no underlying loan yet, or there's no seller financing on this property yet. So let's assume that that is the case. And 25% down. Let's get the property tax number right from Redfin. So let's see if we can scroll down here on Redfin and see what it lists for property taxes. We have 225 for property taxes and 179 for homeowner insurance. 225 for property taxes and 179 for homeowner insurance, which I'm going to multiply by 1.2, assuming that the insurance product for a investment property is going to be higher. I got 10% for maintenance. I got 250 bucks for utilities. I got 10% for property management. I got 5% for vacancy. I might lower that to 3% to be honest with you, because this is in a pretty good area. Let's see, I can look that one up. Yeah, let me plug in tophap.com. Let's see if I can get the crime score for this area too. I'm gonna plug in the address in tophap.com. I'm gonna go to Top Hap in neighborhood, and the crime score is 120. Not too bad. Looks like a decent neighborhood too, and it's right next to like some shopping centers. Maybe there is some crime here. Who knows? But it's not as bad as some of the ones that we looked at yesterday, where it's about 150. So I'm okay with 120. Let's go ahead and keep underwriting this deal. So assuming 10% management, assuming 10% maintenance, 250 for utilities and 3% for vacancy, that nets me to a negative 418. Ooh, 2317, negative 418. And this results in a negative 4.9% cash and cash return, assuming my purchase price was 200. I'm going to put 275 for easy numbers, and my rehab was 26,000. All right. Let's play around with scenarios to see what would make this a deal. So everything is likely going to stay the same here. However, I'm going to mess with the purchase price. What would I be willing to pay for this property to yield a 10% return? Wow, this is going to be really low because the expenses are so high. Wow, 120, 100, 110. Yeah, 110. I would have to pay $110,000 for this deal, assuming everything else holds the same, because I need the interest rate is so high, fortunately, and my expenses are really high too. For it's one cash return. So, well, what if the sellers want to seller finance it? When I looked it up on PropStream, so in order for you to see whether or not there's underlying loan in place, you can go to PropStream, plug in the address, go to mortgage and transaction history, and usually if there is a existing mortgage, it comes out right here. But there's no details about existing loan because I'm not able to see anything unless they just didn't disclose it. So let me assume that the seller owns this property free and clear because last time they bought it was in 2006. So maybe they probably own it free and clear. If I were to pitch creative finance to the seller, because it is for sale by owner, so hopefully I can get direct access to talk to the seller. Let's see what I can do. All right, let's go back up to $275,000. Oops, not 2.7 million. And I'm going to assume that they can finance it. 275 minus that. I'm going to delete the sub 2 loan and I'm going to slowly play around with the seller finance piece. So if I'm paying 25% down and 0% interest rate, this is only a 6.16% return, unfortunately. Now, if I lower it, does that make this deal better? 15%, 10%, 5%. All right, so this is the only way I can make this a deal. Is if the seller is stuck on $275,000, I will have to give a 5% down payment, assuming a 0% interest rate, assuming my rehab is $26,000 as a reserve. Chances are it won't be that expensive, but still, you're being conservative here just in case something happens or something gets discovered, and you're being conservative with your estimates. And that's a 9.5%. So, one, you can offer a 110, or you can offer, hey, if you're willing to sell or finance it to me, I'll give you 5% down. Is it likely that the seller will go for it? I don't know. However, at least you know what set of terms will make it a deal for yourself. Now, some folks might say, hey, this is a good neighborhood, low crime. I might even live in it myself someday. But as a cash flowing deal, if you are targeting 10% cash and cash return, again, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments. But in order for it to deal, I could pay 275 if the seller was willing to give a 5% down and 0% interest rate, which we would call it a principal only. You can't even offer any interest rate. Like if you offer 1%, it lowers the cash and cash return dramatically. So at the end of the day, it really depends on your personal preferences, on what you believe your investment strategy is. Because some folks might invest in areas where as long as they break even on their cash flow, they're okay with that. But that's certainly not my strategy because I want the investments to be returning a yield at some point. Now, some folks might say, hey, appreciation is where you make the most wealth. That's certainly true. And it's up to you to decide how you want to balance your portfolio so that you have some properties that might have some high appreciating properties. I choose to have a balance as well. I got some properties in expensive areas with a lot of potential for appreciation. Well, that's just up to you and your personal preferences. But today, what I want to do is just show you the work that I'm doing. This is me analyzing the deal every single day, getting into reps in, getting into practicing, because this is ultimately what it takes for you to succeed in real estate. Because you have to analyze deals every single day. In order for you to buy 100 deals, you probably have to analyze 1,000 deals. And this is the work that's involved. So hopefully you guys can copy what I'm doing today, analyzing the same deal, using the same spreadsheet. Just DM me your email at investwithkenthe on Instagram, and I can send you the spreadsheet. This has been a spreadsheet that I've been given by other folks, and I just modified it to fit my own standards and my own approach of underwriting. You will discover your own way, your own approach, and your own criteria. But my goal is, hey, sometimes people just don't know where to start. Well, this is one way for you to start. You can copy the same property that I analyzed today, find one phrase or one part that I explain that you can explain better. And that's the whole point. The whole point is so that people that are learning from me will, in fact, do it better than me, because this is how we all get ahead together and how we lift all of us up together. So thank you so much for the time today. We'll be back here again tomorrow for day 146. It's Thursday, so spend some quality time with your family and friends today, because that's what life is all about. So thank you so much for tuning in to the live, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Have an amazing day.